Yeah, to be able to experience new dishes, yeah, we're comfortable. I mean, it's a routine to keep on serving what we know to serve, but to go out of our comfort zone to a whole nother country in a big old city I never been to, not even speaking Spanish, that's going to be a trip. But I'll make it happen. I know the food words, but yeah, it's going to be. But I thrive off. I love pressure. That's when I get my natural high from, when I have to think quick and alert and witty. And if it's a competition, that's going to be a blast. I'm gonna give it my all and make sure I represent myself and my family and my area and the whole nine.
Yeah, so for myself, I'm an American, so when people look at me, they would say that I'm Hispanic or Mexican from Mexico, and so it's like I don't speak Spanish, stuff like that. They're like, huh? But so for me to go into Mexico would be, I would feel like a foreigner, because I wouldn't be able to speak fluently to them, but I would understand a lot of the culture, that some of that culture was put, that we grew up with, some of that culture. So it was just, it would be very exciting. It would be interesting, we'd definitely be outside of our box and outside of our comfort zone. But for a competition or for, renovation or for, whatever we need to do to survive, to live, to do, we'll do it. I mean, why not,
That's perfect. Talk a little bit about your location, Sioux Falls. Winters are tough. You're in a place where there's a lot of tornadoes and stuff like that. So that just makes your kind of the hoops that you have to jump through, the hurdles, even higher, because there's a lot of variables that could really take your restaurant down that you can't even control.
Yeah. Yeah, so winters here are pretty tough. Last winter was the toughest winter I've ever been through, financially, business-wise, and just weather-wise. We had a polar vortex that stayed over us for 3-4 weeks. And then being a family restaurant, we get a lot of families. So the families don't come out near as much because they don't want to bundle up the little ones. We get a lot of elderly. A lot of elderly don't come because they don't want to take the risk of slipping and falling. So the sales decline in the winter, and it's scary, and I am scared because I got taxes coming up. That's going to be a big chunk of money. Yeah, it's super scary, just knowing that I worked so hard for so long to just have it be gone within, a year and a half. It's a little depressing and it's scary, but I have faith and I just do my best. I know I'll work out, however, but nonetheless, I'm ready to make it work. And yeah, and then to have a big old cactus or something catching the eye, whatever it may be, to help us grow. And then people hear that we had we had experience with a chef, and we're gonna introduce that on the menu or a special or whatever the case may be, to get people interested in us, to get us through the winter, to get them in the doors. So hopefully we can build clientele is what it's all about, because it's what I love. I love meeting people. I love talking to people. I love just listening to their experiences and telling them mine, and just making friends and acquaintances, and just feeding them and having them enjoy their meal. And it's what it's all about.
That was perfect. I just want to go back to something real quick. Just give me a sentence that says, for this restaurant, we need brand new kitchen equipment that is restaurant quality, because we're using, kitchen equipment that you would find in a regular household.
Yeah, for this restaurant here that we're working out of, we need traditional restaurant commercial equipment. It's just it's an absolute must. It would be better for productivity. It'd be better for when when the place does pack in, you're able to keep up with the production of the customer. So right now we're just using a residential stove, and though we're getting it done, it makes things more complicated, and it's almost make things a little more stressful, as we're having to work in a way that is not comfortable, and that's not always a good feeling. A little bit stressful from time to time, but it's something I'm used to. So I've been doing it for so long, and it doesn't really bother me. But I know that for other people, they'll be getting bad attitudes and stuff because they're just not up to with the experience of learning. This is the way it has to be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to take the next step, we need to have commercial proper equipment.
And now tell me, I want to make this place a landmark. Once we get this new kitchen equipment, the next thing that's going is a huge cactus of a statue so people can see me from off the highway.
Yeah. Well, after we win this competition, we're gonna get the kitchen properly, all the equipment we need, and then after that, we're gonna get a big old cactus out front where people from the interstate can see it, people driving by see it, kids are gonna want to take pictures with it, everybody's gonna want to take selfies with it. They're gonna want to share it on social media. Everybody's gonna be like, "Where's that? Where are you at?" And then they're gonna say where we're at, and it will become a landmark.
That was perfect. All right. Now you guys both said that you're going down to Mexico City because this is going to be a learning experience, which is so true. But tell me, we're here to learn, but if a chef is like too critical of my food, tell me how you're going to react. Tell me, we're here to learn about more authentic Mexican cooking, but if a chef is very critical of my food, tell me how you react to that.
Well, it just depends on the situation. I mean, if a chef says, "Cook me a dish," and I make it.
Say what we're talking about.
If a chef wants me to make him a dish and I make it for them, and everybody else likes it, but this one doesn't like it, that tells me, wait a minute, there's something wrong with this guy because everybody else likes it. You know what I mean? That's going to be my initial response. But now, if 6 or 7 people didn't like it, and then the chef didn't like it, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm here to learn. Go ahead, teach me. You know what I mean? I won't say nothing. Obviously, you cooked a dish, and some people liked it, some people didn't, but I cooked a dish, and everybody liked it but you. So, now, you know what I mean? Something ain't right. You know what I mean? So, but if I'm there to learn, then it's like, teach me. You know what I mean? I'll be quiet. If you make more people happy than I can, if more people are happy with your dish, well, good for you. Then I'll learn from you. But if my dish is greater than yours or something you never had and you enjoyed it and everybody enjoys it, well then, you know what I mean? You got to keep me in the same category as yourself. Then you can't say, oh, well, I'm top chef and you're not or whatever, you know what I mean? So that's just, the way it is.
For me, it's all about attitude. You know what I mean? Like, just keep it real. You don't like it. What did I do? Put too much? Not enough of? I'm open ears. But if somebody's a jerk, it just shows their colors. They're the ones that look silly. And it's something like that. It's just not even worth my time if they're just, going to be a jerk. Just, you know what I mean? So there's critiquing and there's helping, and then there's just being a punk, like just being rude. And you see that on the shows, like Gordon Ramsay or whatever, you know what I mean? Where they're just, like just overly a jerk. Try to get a reaction, you know what I mean? Everybody has their opinion and stuff like that, but it's how we tell our opinion. Now, if somebody just, like, this is awful, and tosses it, chucks it, or says they wouldn't feed it to a rat, or you know what I mean? It's just, and I guess with TV, it's theatrics a bit, you know what I'm saying? And I get that, but nonetheless, I'm definitely not going to try to like put somebody in a headlock over it, you know what I mean? But that's all we're all people, and we just got to treat each other accordingly. If you don't like something, there's a way to go about it. Not to, that's the way I look at it anyway. If you cook something and I don't care for it, I'll just be like, well, if they ask, I'll be like, well, it's too salty, or or next time try to add this or whatever, and be like, but that's me, and I get it, we can make what I can make the really special and be like, oh, they should like it, and then they toss it and chuck it and say, you're terrible. Your grandma should be ashamed. But you know what I mean? I get the whole TV part of it. You know what I'm saying? But and I'm there live, and then what's going on? You know what I mean? You just have to just I don't know, just smile and bear it, and just see if they want to teach you something, or if it's just them just making a fuss for the camera. That's the way I look at it.
Last time we talked, you said last time we spoke, both of you guys, you said you could take simple things from out of the pantry and make magic with it. Remember you told me that?
Oh, sure.
So tell me, we are confident with our skills.
Yeah, I think that most chefs and cooks in today's world are so by the book. You know, I don't think there's very many people like me out there that had to feed myself. You know, that had to come up with something. And since I was a young person, you know, I would experiment with this, experiment with that. Say, well, what is this? What is that? And how does this taste? And what do I like? What I don't like? What my friends like? What they don't like? And so it's like that's going to be hard to compete with where somebody's so by the book and so by a recipe. I mean, I can look at different spices, I can smell them, and then just be like, oh, it needs a little this, it needs a little that, you know. And so it's like most people can't do that. You know what I mean? And so it's going to be hard for people to compete against that. And so I feel very confident myself.
Well, growing up on welfare, towards the end of the month, your pantry's low. You know what I mean? You're working with not a whole lot. You know what I mean? The first week is awesome. You got everything. You got your junk food and all that. But then, you know, towards the end, it's just like, okay, you know what I mean? What am I going to make with this? And you just get creative. And then throughout the years, you know what spices go with what kind of theme of food. You know what I mean? What you're in the mood for, and and just visualize things. I can kind of picture things, how much things need to go in what to taste it. The smells of everything. Well, a lot of times, something smells like is what it's going to taste like. And my grandmother said, you know, if you like it, others will like it. And I know with myself, I cook things the way I like it. And if I like it, they'll like it. But yeah, so if we got a limited something or another, you know, we make it. I know we can make it happen. You know, like what spices we got. Being on a show like this, I'm sure it'll be mostly your typical Mexican spices. They're not going to leave us with Italian spices to make Mexican food, or maybe they will. Shoot, you know, I mean, whatever. Still make it good.
Have to make something
be
up.
tasting Italian, whatever, but it'll still be good. I'd call it Mexican freaking spaghetti or something. But you know, which fusion's cool too. Whatever, you know, taking the best. But anyway, yeah. So that definitely give us an edge. Just take care of, you know, cooking for ourselves for so long with limited resources.
But do you guys think that, like, you've been following the same recipes for a while, this will be great for you guys to give you a little shot in the arm to learn some new stuff, so that you can be even better than yourselves? Better version of yourself?
Maybe, you know, maybe at some point. Maybe.
Sorry about that. So tell me, you know, I love my grandmother's recipes. We've made a living off of them. But we need to do more to give me like a little shot in the arm to really do better. And this is that opportunity.
I was kind of cutting in and out, really.
Even more like here, I'll start. You were cutting in and out, but
Sorry,
yeah.
Tell me, I love my grandmother's recipes. They've given me a roof over my head for many years. But we really need to do some new things, be more authentic, learn more about new techniques. This is an opportunity to really give us a shot in the arm and take us to the next level.
Yeah, but my grandmother started it is awesome, and has taken care of myself and many others. But to learn a different aspect of food, more authentic, the roots per se, to get in there and just open the floodgates per se to make things happen, where we can just be taught things and learn things and share what we learn with everybody in our area.
You got anything to add to that?
Well, no, not really. I just the fact that well, the last thing that was on my mind was, you know, maybe there's time for us to maybe learn a recipe of some kind instead of just dashing here. Well, it needs a little this, needs a little that. You know, maybe we need to learn how to learn that aspect side of it so that we can go push ourselves over that top. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what I'm missing myself. I don't know, but people will probably say no. But I'm thinking for myself, you know, maybe that is what I need to, you know, to learn something that can put my mind in a different box and start thinking a little differently, so that maybe that could push me over the top.
Do you guys think that people in Sioux Falls, what authentic Mexican food is supposed to look like or taste like?
Well, we do have several different. We got different themes of restaurants. We got ourselves. We got Guatemalan place. We got like I don't know. I think they call it Fresh Mex. We got but yeah. I mean, how many? Man, I mean,
Like in general, you feel like they have a good grasp of what it is because like stuff like you mentioned. What I found out, and I'm not sure if this is true, and maybe you guys can tell me. Yellow cheese is never used in authentic Mexican food. Is that true or no?
not authentic.
In most cases, that is true. They use white cheese. They use a white cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like an example. That's what probably like a lot of people are used to, I think.
Right?
Yeah. Well, your Taco Bells and stuff like that always, you know. They
Well,
use
that's
yellow
why we're
cheese.
Rudy's. You know,
Exactly.
yeah, we're not claiming to be an authentic Mexican. You know, we're saying this is Tex-Mex, but and, you know, we don't use cilantro and stuff like that. We have our sauces.
But
What's that?
sorry about that. It's because it's cutting out. But what I really would love for you guys to kind of give me a sentence that says you want to educate your customers. You want to educate the people in your city about what real authentic Mexican food is because they don't know what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to have authentic Mexican food to teach the locals what it is, just to get it out there and get it into their mouths and have them be like, "Whoa, this is what is this?" You know what I mean? And then they're gonna go tell others, and then the others are gonna want to come check us out. And so to have the opportunity to learn authentic dishes and incorporate it into what we do and in the menu would be extravagant. It would be an amazing, and people would love it. And I'm excited to do that.
I think for the common American, Mexican food is just like Mexican spices or something that's common in that country. You know, we could, what we have, people say is Mexican food. So it's like, you know, if we can incorporate some cilantro or something like that and incorporate some of the other more authentic ingredients, we could explain to the customers, you know, that this is authentic. We could start saying then that this is more authentic than, you know, than some places, you know what I mean, or whatnot. So, you know.
Anything that makes us stand apart is great.
That was great. Say that anything that makes us stand apart is a good thing, and being more authentic, definitely that thing.
Anything that sets us apart is great, and to have more authentic things on the menu would definitely set us apart. That's a good soundbite.
Let me see. Oh, no, yeah, that was good.
I try to catch on.
See, now you're getting used. Now you get.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I knew this would be a lot. You just not be done.
Yeah. It's on 18 minutes. Should I stop and do it again?
What we're talking about now is what was that?
It's on 18 minutes. You want me to stop it and do it again or no? You know, because you want to break it up.
Yeah, stop it.
All right. 'Cause it's 19 minutes now.